79 WBC welterweight title bout between Sugar Ray Leonard and Wilfredo Benitez at Caesars Palace. Let's join our announcers ringside here on ESPN Classic.
Oh boy, how about this for a stare down? This is the third time the two of them have had a stare down already. It's got the crowd electrified here in the sports pavilion at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now they try to separate the two fighters. Ray Leonard on the right, the world champion Wilfredo Benitez. And look at Angelo Dundee laugh as they walk away and finally separate. You'll see plenty of action before it's all over. Let's listen into our ring announcer, Chuck Hull.
State Athletic Commission for the next bout of the evening. The judges are Art Lurie, Harry Gibbs, and Ray Solis. The referee is Carlos Padilla. This is a 15-round contest for the WBC Welterweight Championship. Introducing in the blue corner, fighting out of Palmer Park, Maryland, undefeated in 25 professional fights, a very popular Sugar Ray Leonard. And in the red corner, the WBC welterweight champion. He fights out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in at 144.5 pounds, the very popular Wilfredo Benitez. 15 rounds of boxing.
So we're all set to go. This fight is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission and the World Boxing Council. 10-point must-scoring system. 3 judges score the fight. No standing 8 count. 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight. And a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. There's Wilfredo Benitez, 36-0, 1 draw, 23 KOs against young Sugar Ray Leonard, 23 years old, from Palmer Park, Maryland. Ray Leonard, actually, when I say young, is 3 years older than Wilfredo Benitez. I forget that Benitez began fighting at age 15, and at 17, he was already a world champion. By the way, Benitez in the blue trunks was the youngest world champion ever. This could be a strategic fight. Both guys have knockout power, but both guys also are strategic boxers. Both guys have a lot of hand speed, good foot speed. You know the history of Ray Leonard, 1976 Olympic gold medalist. That was in the 137-pound division. He's in at 146 tonight at the welterweight division for the WBC. This is a 15-round world championship fight of the 147-pound title. That's the WBC welterweight championship of the world. Ray Leonard on the same team with Leon's Michael Spinks, Howard Davis, turned pro in '77, had 3 AAU titles, won the gold medal at the Pan Am Games in 1975. Technically very sound, you know. Speed and quickness, Ray Leonard's traits. Kind of like the other Angelo Dundee fighter, Muhammad Ali, Ray Leonard makes a living on accumulation of punches and late round flurries. Nice left hook by Ray Leonard. Wire with the right hand and again wire with the left. Look at Benitez making him miss. Benitez has been a great champion over the years, since 17 years old. A lot of people question Wilfredo Benitez's conviction as an athlete. You know, he started so young, and he's been champ, and it came kind of easy for him at age 17 because he has such tremendous ability. A lot of people say he doesn't train that hard, and my sources down in Santurce and in San Juan, Puerto Rico, tell me that he really doesn't like to train at all. About a minute to go, just under a minute in round number 1. And in fact, one of my sources, Mario Martinez, told me Benitez only trained a week for this fight. We'll have to wait and see if that has any validity to it. He looks in terrific shape, but he's the type of guy that fights regularly and stays in good shape. Both of these guys have very, very noticeable and tremendous ability. Both with a quickness. Both know exactly what they want to do. This will be difficult for the judges to score this fight. Closing seconds now. This the first round of the fight. An even first round. Both guys have landed punches. Ray Leonard forced the fight a bit more. There's the bell ending round number 1. And look at this stare down. Finally, referee Carlos Padilla says, that's it, lads. Back to your corner. Angelo Dundee, one of the great cheerleaders in the corner for years for Muhammad Ali, doing the same thing, along with Dave Jacobs and Jenks Morton in that corner. Mike Trainer, of course, is the manager of the fighter, but Angelo is the guy that runs the corner. Ray Leonard up off the stool quickly, ready to go. Round 2. We're at Caesars Palace in the Sports Pavilion here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Bob Sheridan, glad that you can be with us. Sugar Ray Leonard trying to win the title from Wilfred Benitez. Benitez has been a terrific WBC welterweight champion. Record of 36-0, 1 draw, 23 knockouts. 11 of his fights, by the way, have gone in 3 rounds or less. So that's something to consider. He won the title from Carlos Palomino. That was a decision back in January of this year. So he's had the title about 10, 11 months. And it's pretty exciting. Ray Leonard, one of the most colorful fighters to come out of the Olympic Games. Benitez, one of the great fighters from Puerto Rico, a whole string down there. And he's just another great champ. They train them early, they train them young. Continue to feel each other out. You see the Speaker of the House in the crowd there. Tip O'Neill across the way from where our position there with a green tie. He loves his boxing. His son, the Lieutenant Governor up in Boston, Tommy O'Neill. You see, Benitez can do a lot of things. In the first round, Ray Leonard was backing him off a whole lot more, and Benitez now is standing and planting his feet and getting his jab off. Well, both of these guys have tremendous ability. And we talked in the first round about it being a tactical fight, and that's exactly what it is. Benitez to the right in the blue trunks. And look at Ray Leonard. Now, in that exchange, you don't have to be a judge or a referee to decide that Ray Leonard won that exchange. Ray Leonard looks to have slightly more hand speed to me. Ray hanging that left low, but his hands are so rapid and so quick that it really doesn't make any difference. Against lesser opponents, it doesn't make any difference at all. About a minute to go in this, the second round. More of a strategic round than round 1. Ray Leonard teed off a little bit more in the first round. This round, Benitez has come back a bit to try and land his punches in there. This is not exactly what you would call a crowd pleaser to this point, but these guys have such great ability, and there's so much on the line here. It'll be a crowd pleaser, I'm sure, before it's over. You see the time remaining in this, the second round. There's another good combination by Ray. No damage done at all. That one straight left hand gonna back the champ off. Closing seconds of now this, the second round of the fight. Scheduled for 15. Ray Leonard, Wilfred Benitez. There's the bell. All right, we're coming up to round number 3 in the scheduled 15 round world title fight. This is the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World, 147-pound division. I'm Bob Sheridan, so glad that you can be with us. The bell is sounded. This is round 3. Sugar Ray Leonard, the Olympic medalist in the white trunks and the champion of the world from Puerto Rico, Wilfred Benitez in the blue. A tactical fight in the second round. Ray Leonard scored more punches in the first. I scored the second round even. I gave Leonard, just based on aggressiveness, the first. Don't forget, 3 judges will score the fight. Mine's only an indication of how I see it going. Notice the hand speed of both fighters. The concentration in the eyes of both fighters. The magnificent conditioning of the bodies. And remember, I had reports that Wilfredo Benitez wasn't training for this fight up until a week ago. Look at that body. I gotta question that. When I see my source the next time I'm doing a fight down in the Roberto Clemente Coliseum down there in San Juan, I'm going to say, are you sure about Wilfredo Benitez? This guy does look in tremendous condition. Oh, nice shot that time by Ray. Took virtually no toll, though, on Benitez. Remember, I called Ray Leonard at the top of the show the young Ray Leonard. Benitez is 3 years younger. And it's his title Ray Leonard wants to lift. Round 3 again, scheduled for 15 rounds. And both of these men look in tremendous physical condition, like they'll have no trouble going to 15. Both have good knockout records. Leonard's KO'd 16 of his 25 wins. Benitez 23 of his 36. So percentage-wise, Ray Leonard's better. But mostly it's against inferior opponents early in their careers. At this level, these guys may have to go the distance. They're both superior boxers, as you can see. How do you score this fight, folks? I mean, it's tough. You see Benitez do things good. He's very successful with the jab, trying to back Ray Leonard off. Ray Leonard showing that he can land combinations like that, but they don't do any damage to Wilfredo Benitez. You know, when you talk about aggressiveness, it's got to be effective. Now, that time, Ray landed 1 punch in that series, in that flurry. We're in the 3rd round. Benitez able to get through with a jab, but not landing it flush. Certainly no puffiness around the eyes of either Ray Leonard. The count is going on, so it is a flash knockdown. It was a straight left jab, and it was difficult to tell. And, well, Benitez says it's not anything too serious anyway. We're inside of the 10-second mark now. It is officially a knockdown. It was on the end of the jab, and Benitez will lose this round 10-8. And he laughs at Ray Leonard. Well, Carlos Padilla was right on top of it. I couldn't tell. I was actually glancing down at my monitor, and I couldn't see their feet. And I thought that he may have tripped over Ray Leonard's foot, but no, Carlos Padilla was back far enough so he could see it immediately. And yes, in fact, it was scored a knockdown. So that is a 10-8 round in favor of Ray Leonard. But it's really, you know, it shouldn't have to be scored 10-8 because it was just one of those things that he was kind of a little bit off balance and get caught at the end of the punch. That's a matter of opinion how judges will score that. Unofficially, I would score 10-8 that round in favor of Ray Leonard, which puts him out in front of my scorecard by 3 points. All right, we're coming up to round number 4. Bob Sheridan here. Ray Leonard and Wilfredo Benitez. Ray comes in 25-0, 16 KOs. A native of Palmer Park, Maryland. Handled by the great Angelo Dundee. Angelo, you know, had a lot of credit for handling Ray Leonard, of course, and Muhammad Ali. But he had other terrific fighters. When I was a real youngster doing fights down in Miami, he had Gomi O'Brennan from Bimini in the Bahamas, who was the light heavyweight champion of the world. He had Yama Bahama. He had Florentino Fernandez. He had, tremendous fighters of that ilk down there that, will you ever forget when Fulmer and Fernandez fought for the middleweight championship? I mean, great fights over the years and great fighters. Jimmy Ellis, another one that Angelo Dundee handled, another former heavyweight champion of the world. Won that tournament, beating Floyd Patterson. Got Frankie Otero, the lightweight, fought Ken Buchanan for the lightweight championship of the world. Look at this, Ray Leonard beginning to score punches here in the 4th. But on the other hand, Benitez has got a pretty good corner too. His dad, Goyo Benitez, has been training him since he was a kid, and he's still only a kid, but he got him a world title when he was 17. He also has a former welter and middleweight champion of the world working as an advisor, and that's Emil Griffiths. So both of them have good and controlled corners. By the way, Jimmy Jacobs manages Wilfredo Benitez. Jimmy, the reigning handball champion of the world. Terrific athlete in his own right. Hey, Larry Holmes in the crowd there. What a great fighter he is. What a job against Ken Norton. About a minute to go, and this is the 4th round. Another one of those strategic rounds like the 2nd round. Benitez getting more punches through in this round, but again, Ray Leonard scores those rat-a-tat shots. You see Carlos Padilla warn him about hanging on with the elbow. One thing that's good for Benitez is Padilla is able to speak Spanish. He's not Spanish himself, by the way. He's from the Philippines, but he does speak Spanish. Wild is Ray Leonard with that one. Let Leonard load up with that right hand, but he can't really connect with Benitez. Benitez is slick. He stays outside of the punching power of Ray Leonard. And we're coming up to the end of round number 4 now. Pretty good round for both fighters. Difficult round to score.
Okay. All right.
All right, we're just about set to go here now with round number 6. Again, this is scheduled for 15. Bob Sheridan here for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Sugar Ray Leonard in the white trunks to the right of your screen. Wilfredo Benitez, the great champion, 20-year-older, defending his title in the blue trunks to the right of your screen now. We're at Caesars Palace, the home of boxing, Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is a pretty strategic fight so far. Again, we pointed out at the end of the last round how Ray Leonard will fight from time to time in flurries, especially at the end of the round. It's been a clean fight. Nobody really hurt, but Benitez was down in the 3rd round with kind of a flash knockdown off the end of a straight left jab by Ray Leonard, which kind of surprised all of us. And it settled into just a real tough strategic war. Again, round 6. Very difficult fight for both fighters. At different times, Benitez is able to get through with his left hand. Different times, Ray throws flurries and scores combinations of punches. But Ray gets the crowd most electrified when he throws 3, 4, 5, 6 punches at once. And the crowd really comes to life. And a lot of that is the teaching, again, I've pointed out a couple of times, of Angelo Dundee. Because he knows you can steal rounds by getting the crowd and judges electrified. See Ray getting through. A lot of the punches missing. A lot of them are short. And the question is, for the judges, who's landing the most punches in each round? The way Benitez's head comes forward when he throws the punches, and he wants to keep his eyes up so he can see where Leonard is all the time, so Leonard can't counter him. About a minute to go, and this is the 6th round. Nice straight right hand that time by Ray Leonard. And now it's got the adrenaline flow for Benitez. He wants to do something of his own. Oh, wait a minute. The heads came together there. Ray Leonard looking up to his forehead. Benitez looks like he's cut too. And now Carlos Padilla takes him over. Oh, look at that. Right in the middle of the forehead. You hate to see anything like this stop a good fight that's in progress. That was an accidental headbutt. The heads come together. No work can be done. The doctors didn't even take a look at it. You know, the vessels are so close to the surface of the skin, in between the skin and the skull, that there's a lot of bleeding from the forehead, but look at this at the closing seconds of this round. These guys are really electrified. Wow, nice finish to the 6th round. Now let's stay right with Wilfredo Benitez and watch them work on there. Goyo Benitez's dad will do most of the work here. They've got to get pressure on that, and all they can use is that adrenaline 1 to 1,000 solution on that to stop that from bleeding. And there's the adrenaline solution there they put right in there. I've got this fight, by the way, and officially scored 60-56 in favor of Ray Leonard. As you watch this replay, we may be able to see how they come together. And again, you see, it's Benitez when he comes forward. And I mentioned that a little bit earlier. He's got to keep his eyes up. And what he's doing is tucking his chin and coming forward to throw his punches. And at the same time, Ray Leonard was going to throw a combination of punches, and it's just an accidental headbutt. It happens. And in the WBC, if a fight is stopped due to an accidental butt after the completion of 3 full rounds, the winner is decided by the scorecard. So this is an official fight. So no matter what happens here, this fight is official. Let's just see what happens here now. We're in round number 7. Ray Leonard to the right, now to the left of your screen. Wilfred Benitez, the champ, trailing on my scorecard. But I wonder how much I've been fooled by the flurries that Ray Leonard puts on. And, you know, you're only human yourself watching at home. These things happen. When I say that, you know, these things in terms of Ray being the flashier fighter. And I'd be willing to bet during this career that you're going to see of Ray Leonard that he'll win a lot of close fights because the judges' eyes drift towards the flashier guy. And Ray Leonard is a flashier guy. Blood continues to come down the forehead of Wilfred Benitez. It's not really a factor because it's not really close to the eye unless it really starts bleeding profusely. It seems to be running right down the nose in between the eyes. So it's not bothering him as much as it could. Ray Leonard knows that that cut could certainly benefit him later on. Neither fighter, again, has really been hurt other than this cut. And he was knocked down, was Benitez, back in the 3rd round, but he wasn't hurt when he was knocked down. It's surprising to watch Ray Leonard. I thought he'd be much more aggressive going after this cut, but he's really a consummate professional at age 23. Happy to land left hooks, right hands, just trying to outscore and outpoint Wilfred Benitez. And thus far, he's doing that. Inside of a minute to go in this round. I gave Leonard the 1st round, the 3rd round, and the 6th round. I haven't given the champion 1 round yet. Now, the judges won't score the 2nd, 4th, and 5th like I did even. I tried to give him to Benitez, but I couldn't because Leonard did too much. Closing portion now of the 7th round. Ray Leonard continuing to build up points on my scorecard. 3rd man in the ring, Carlos Padilla, not too busy. Hasn't had to be. And again now, can we see that closing flurry by Ray Leonard? Look at him, the way he picks up the pace here. Just under 10 seconds to go. And again, watch the way Ray just seems to know. Of course, Dundee's letting him know. Look at this flurry at the end of the round. And that's going to be enough to steal him this round. How many times in his career have you already seen it? And Lord knows how many more times we will see it. Into the corner with Wilfred Benitez as they'll have to work on that cut. All right, we're set to go now with the 11th round. It's championship time. Why not? The WBC welterweight championship. That's a 147-pound title is on the line. Sugar Ray Leonard in white. Wilfred Benitez in the dark trunks. Blue trunks with a white trim. I've got Sugar Ray out in front in this fight. Last couple of rounds, fairly even. I thought Leonard scored the 6th, 7th, and 8th fairly easily. I had 4 and 5 fairly even. Leonard winning 1 and 3. And look at this. Ray wants to pick up the pace here. Benitez says, come on. Benitez sticking his tongue out at him. If I were him, I'd keep that in there and stay serious. I don't think he realizes he's behind in this fight. Benitez landed more punches in that exchange than Ray Leonard did. And here's Ray answering back. Look at him digging to the ribs. And you can just feel the animosity that Ray Leonard feels when he hits that guy. hangs on him with a head that drills into the body with that right hand. Benitez smiling back at him. And that can be frustrating for Ray Leonard, or it can also get an adrenaline flow and make him mad. Look at, they stared each other down. There were no smiles before the fight. When they were getting the instructions from referee Padilla, they continued to stare each other down. Benitez looking much more aggressive now in the 11th round. But it's Ray Leonard that's landing the more serious and more telling blows. Ray's mouth for the first time beginning to sag open. But as I say that, look at the mouthpiece coming between the teeth of Benitez. Midway through the round now. Nice uppercut inside by Ray. Both guys extremely active. Don't forget we're in the 11th round. And I think he can toss out any of the words and rumors that I heard about Benitez not being in shape. Oftentimes some of the corner people will let those words filter out so that an opposing corner thinks, oh, was he staggered? He caught him pretty good. Benitez's legs look a little bit rubbery. Nice left hook. Oh, there goes the mouthpiece. And now Ray Leonard digs in. Inside of a minute to go, and this is the 11th round. Ray really picking up the pace. And for all the even rounds, you got to say this is Ray Leonard's round. Digging to the rib cage. That bottom rib, he'd like to crack. Bangs it again. All the punches Benitez throws miss. Look at this. Most of them miss. Tries to answer back, but Ray Leonard scoring the heavier blows inside of 30 seconds now. This is the 11th round. Oh, big right hand by Ray Leonard. It just grazed the side of the cheek. If he caught him on the ear with that, it might have dropped him over the head. Ray is head hunting now. Look at the way how cutely he grabs onto that left arm of Benitez, away from Benitez. Wow. Inside of 10 seconds to go now. The closing seconds of the 11th round. An action-packed round from Las Vegas. Wow, both guys working extremely hard. You got to say that both of these fighters are beginning to gain respect for each other, because they had no respect for each other, at least apparently and seemingly, before the fight. I think they probably had a whole lot more respect than what they were giving each other. But I definitely would say they have a whole lot of respect for each other now. They're going to the 12th round. I have it scored unofficially again, 110 to 103 in favor of Ray Leonard. So Benitez now would need a couple of knockdowns and a knockout to win the fight. And the way Leonard has been fighting since the 6th round, even if you gave Benitez 9 and 10, Leonard has won 6, 7, 8, and certainly you don't need me to tell you he won that last round. Here we go to round 12. This is getting exciting now. It's championship territory. This is scheduled for 15. That's where we're coming from. Caesars Palace, the Sports Pavilion in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Bob Sheridan, and you're watching the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Sugar Ray Leonard in action against Wilfredo Benitez. Benitez, the reigning champion, 20 years old. Ray, of course, 23. Ray's so excited. His first world title since he won the amateur title in the Olympics. His very first world title was an AAU world title at the Pan Am Games. And then, of course, he won Olympic gold as an amateur. And now he's going for his first professional world championship. And he's doing an excellent job here. We're in the 12th round of the scheduled 15-round affair. And Benitez just scored the last 2 punches. Ray's jaw hanging down now. And this is the part in a fight that tells a lot about the character of fighters. Ray obviously exhausted. There's been a good pace to the fight. It hasn't been one of those fights where the crowd has been ranting and raving and cheering it up and down, because there haven't been a lot of knockdowns. The one knockdown there was in the fight was kind of a flash knockdown from a jab back in the 3rd round. And Benitez got a bad cut in the middle of his forehead in the 6th, and his corner has done a tremendous job keeping that closed. Meanwhile, Ray Leonard's corner of Angelo Dundee, Dave Jacobs, Jenks Morton, and of course his manager Mike Trainer have done a tremendous job in keeping this guy juiced up emotionally. Angelo Dundee gets him prepared to fight, and he's been prepared. Inside of a minute to go now in the 12th round. Ray continues to circle to his left, looking for the opportunity. Notice that left hand of Benitez, who's got some sort of second wind, carrying it much higher now. You see the time remaining in the fight. Benitez actually seems fresher now than he did through the 6th, 7th, and 8th. That left hand back up by his shoulder instead of hanging down by his hip. Score the right hand and get the crowd buzzing. Inside of 7 seconds to go, and this the 12th round. A pretty good round for Benitez. All right, the bell ends the 12th. All right, we're set to go here with round 13. You saw them working that little slit by the left eye of Wilfredo Benitez. You know, he had the bad cut in the middle of the forehead back in the 6th, but they've done a great job in his corner keeping that closed. So we'll keep an eye on the left eye of Wilfredo Benitez and see if that becomes any factor. In the 13th round, we are now in real championship territory. You know, there's talk about the WBC going down to 12 rounds for championship fights, but this is when it's really told. 13, 14, and 15, we're in the 13th round. Look at that looping right hand followed by a nice crisp left hook by Ray Leonard. That one landed and spun the head. Got the head spinning to the right and then banged it back with a real strong right hand. Good job by Ray. I gave Benitez the last round, but I think that Ray Leonard has turned things around here so far in the 13th. By the way, if in fact Benitez did win the 12th round on the judges' scorecard, that's the first round that I've given him in the fight. Now the judges, in rounds that I scored even in the 12th, the 4th, the 5th, the 9th, the 10th, would have gone one way or the other. I thought they were just too close to call. Look at these right hands landed by Ray Leonard, who wants to lift this title so bad from the reigning welterweight champion of the world. How much longer will his reign last? Benitez better not stand in this corner. Ray Leonard will get a shot at him, and Ray's loading up his shots right now. Benitez seems to be all right. His eyes are clear, but he has a concerned look on his face. His legs appear to be all right. But I don't like the way he's standing still in the corner. He tries to come out, and Ray really is loaded with confidence right now. Inside a minute to go now, and this is the 13th round. And if last round was questionably Benitez's round, this is definitely Ray Leonard's round. Ray scoring to the body, to the head. Benitez not throwing too much, doing a lot of nice right hand, left temporal bone by Benitez. Taken by Benitez, I should say, to make it clear to you. 30 seconds to go. Look at this, Ray Leonard really showing some power here, too. Ray trying to load up the right hand now. Benitez just not able to get off at all at this stage in the 13th. Closing seconds now of this, the 13th round. And right now, as that left hook got thrown by Benitez, the crowd kind of cheers a bit. But it's Ray Leonard who's won this, the 13th round. Go with the 14th round. The WBC welterweight championship of the world at stake. Ray Leonard, whether it's quite as much as I have it on my scorecard, I'm quite comfortable in telling you that Ray Leonard is ahead in this fight. Ray Leonard in white. Wilfredo Benitez, the pride of Puerto Rico, in his blue trunks. You hear from the corner, Jenks Morton yelling, "Pick it up, Ray." guys, the courage, determination. Carlos Padilla has done a nice job. A referee always does a nice job when he's not a factor in the fight. And Padilla getting to be one of the finer referees. They've got some terrific referees out here in Las Vegas. Joey Curtis, this guy Padilla, some terrific referees, and Davey Pearl, and you can go on and on. Benitez has picked it up just a bit in this round. He's got some sort of adrenaline rush. But again, I keep using the term effective aggressiveness. What's he doing effectively? Well, he is more aggressive, but he's still getting hit. He's getting beat to the punch. He's got that smile back on his face. And every time he gets that, you see the time remaining in this thing, 14th round. Ray Leonard has got the jaw hanging a bit, but he picks his shots. He does such a good job. And loading up that right hand again. Tell you one thing, Ray Leonard has loaded up his right gun a lot more than Wilfredo Benitez has. And at the end of this fight, it may be the difference. A minute to go in the 14th round. A lot of people thought there'd be a knockout in this fight. And thus far, we've had that one knockdown way back in the 3rd round, and that was a flash. The only other big factor was when the heads came together in the 6th. You see the blood trickling from the middle of the forehead, and it's not a factor in the fight. A little slit by the left eye of Benitez. So Benitez is the guy that's getting beaten up physically and visually to us. Also, we've got Leonard ahead in the scorecards. Ray, while his punches don't seem to have the big zing right now, still have more power than does Benitez. And as I say that, Benitez begins to attack. You see the time remaining in the 14th? The closing seconds of the 14th round. Woo!
Very, very close. You got to fight like an animal. Don't back down. Take it to him. Pull him. Standing. You got to win the head drop. We need this. You got to take this. You got to take it. Look like the winner. Push him back. Right. Thank you. Hey, what's this, man? Go to work.
The crowd in attendance here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, senses an upset. They sense that Ray Leonard could win the WBC Welterweight Championship. He's got to be ahead on all the judges' scorecards. This is the 15th round, the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. I'm Bob Sheridan, and you're watching two great young fighters. Ray Leonard in white, about to take the WBC World title from Wilfredo Benitez, a 20-year-old who has had world titles since he was just 17 years old. How bad does he want to keep that title? Look at Ray Leonard, pick up the pace. Look at Benitez trying to hang on to his title. Carlos Padilla separates the two. They're ready to go at it again. A second wind by Benitez. He was down in the 3rd round. He was cut in the 6th round. His corner did an outstanding job on that cut. His mouthpiece went flying in the 11th. A slit to his left eye in the 12th round. And Ray Leonard has had it all his way most of the fight. The champion of the world just hasn't been able to do too much with Ray Leonard. Ray has been too quick. He's in magnificent condition, but then again, so is Benitez. Benitez tries to work downstairs. Both fighters, mind you, are tired. Both want it so bad, it doesn't show. This is the 15th round. It's championship time here at the Sports Pavilion at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. I consider myself fortunate to be here to present this fight to you because it is an exciting one. Look at this, both guys in the 15th landing blows. Leonard just got clipped with a good left hook and another wild left scored by Benitez. Halfway through, this the final round of the fight. the world title on the line, and Benitez does not want it to go. Ray Leonard says, "You're not going to stop me," as he comes back. Wild with a left hand over Benitez. Look at this. Both guys, remember, it's the last round of 15. Look at the strength these guys have. Under a minute to go now, and we may have a new WBC welterweight champion. Ray Leonard can taste it. The crowd can feel it. And I'm as excited as anybody here in attendance. I love it. Look at this. Ray Leonard about to become champion for the first time in his career. Wow, Benitez giving it all he can in the closing seconds. He lands 2 shots to the head of Sugar Ray. Ray comes back with he tries to hang on, does Benitez. Instead, it's an inside uppercut. Oh, he catches Benitez, and he crumbles to the canvas. He shakes his head, gets the cobwebs out, but his legs still might be gone. He'll take the standing 8. Look at the cut in the middle of his forehead. Carlos Padilla's got to know he's way behind in the fight. He sees his eyes are clear. He says he's okay. Let's watch. In comes Ray, another big uppercut. He lands another head blow, and Padilla says, that's enough. Ray Leonard, the new WBC welterweight champion of the world. Listen to the crowd. Oh boy, I'm going to collect my breath. You don't often see him as good as that. Now there's a lot of respect. 2 fine athletes showing great respect, as exhausted as the 2 of them are. Ray a little bit emotional there. And Benitez showing he is a good sport. After all, they stared and stared and stared. Let's go to our ring announcer, Chuck Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Carlos Padilla stops the bout at 2 minutes 54 seconds of the 15th round. The winner and new WBC welterweight champion, Sugar Ray Leonard. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another excellent bout to follow, and we have some surprises.